Hello, 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 lovely people. So, this is my first YouTube video. I watch YouTube all the time, but I have not actually ever posted anything on YouTube. And so, I love books. I am an avid reader. So I've decided that I'm going to start posting book reviews, unboxings, book hauls, and pretty much anything else I can think of. So what I'm going to do for my first YouTube video is my February book haul and my anticipated book releases for March. The first book that I'm going to show you for my book haul is The Shadow Queen by C.J. Redwine. So this is a book that is a take on Snow White. There's been a lot of different takes on fairy tales lately, so I'm pretty excited to read this one. So basically what this one is about is the main character, Lorelei. She is obviously on the run from the evil queen, and she has to defeat the evil queen with magic, which both the evil queen and her have magic. So she ends up going to a neighboring kingdom and making a deal with the prince because he needs magic to defeat the ogres that are invading his kingdom. So there's probably going to be romance in this one, and the cover is really minimalistic, which I kind of like. And then if you look, it's really pretty on the inside too, also minimalistic. And there is a map in the front of the book, which I love. I love books that have maps, so this is really exciting. The second book that I'm going to show you guys is Black Hearts by Nicole Castrom. As you can probably see from the cover, it's about pirates. Now, out of all the books that I have hauled for February, I have 3 books about pirates, so I'm pretty excited for all these pirate books. And Black Hearts is a retelling of Blackbeard, but it's not the Blackbeard that you think you know. It's before Blackbeard was Blackbeard. So I'm also pretty excited to read this one. Like, I really am excited for this one. The next book I have is Forget Tomorrow by Pin-Tip Dunn. The cover is gorgeous. If you open it up all the way, there is a bird. I think it's a raven, maybe an eagle. I'm not sure. It's really pretty though. So this book, when in this world, when you turn a certain age, you get a dream, and that dream tells you what you're going to do with your life when you grow up, whether you're going to be a doctor or a nurse, whatever. You basically get your job from a dream. And the main character, her name is Callie. On her birthday, she has her dream, and in her dream, she sees herself killing her little sister. So then she gets hauled off to jail for a crime that she hasn't committed, but probably will commit, because I guess the dreams that they have are set in stone. So this sounds really interesting, but it was what's on the back of the cover that got me really interested in this book. It says, "How do you change your future when it's already been determined? I moved the wires off her chest and placed my hand squarely over her heart. I love you, Jessa. You know that, don't you?" She nods. Her heart thumps evenly against my palm, the strong, steady beat of the complete trust a child has for her older sister. "Forgive me," I whisper. Before she can react, I whip my arm through the air and plunge the needle straight into her heart. The clear liquid empties into my sister. Jessa stares at me, eyes wide and mouth open. Loud beeping fills the room, and then the heart rate monitor goes flat. My stomach sinks. I've failed. So, I'm pretty interested to see if her sister has some sort of illness that she found an antidote for that is not easily accessible. So I'm really excited for this book. Really excited. The next book that I have, I got because I've seen on a couple of YouTube channels that I watch, and that is Starflight by Melissa Landers. This is another book about pirates, but they're space pirates, and space pirates are pretty awesome. So I couldn't resist this because space pirates. The main character, Solara, basically is a fugitive, and she's trying to get out of the system that she's in. And she hitches a ride with a boy that she knew at school that made her miserable. So that's going to be really exciting to see, because it's probably going to be one of those books where they hate each other in the beginning and then they slowly start to love each other. And, like, I love books like that. They're so good because they just draw you in. So I'm really excited for this one. And here is another pirate book. It's called Unhooked by Lisa Maxwell. And this is a retelling of Peter Pan. But it is not the Neverland you know. So it's a darker take on Peter Pan. So I'm pretty excited for this one. As she's slowly losing her memory, she has to remember that, you know, she's trying to get home, and she has to choose between the handsome fairy or the young pirate who promises to keep her safe. So I'm really excited for this one. This one is going to be really good. So the next book that I have to show you guys is These Vicious Masks by Taryn Shanker and Kelly Zekas. I probably said at least one of those names wrong. If I did, I apologize. This book takes place in London in 1882. I was going to say 88. It's 82. And the main character, Evelyn, her sister Rose goes missing. And so against her parents' wishes, she goes to London with a man named Mr. Kent. And when she gets to London, she finds out that somebody else, a boy named Sebastian, is also looking for her sister. And so it seems like there's going to be maybe some magic or supernatural aspects to this book. So I'm excited to read it because I love supernatural, paranormal, fantasy kind of stuff. And I also love 1800 London. So that's going to be a good read. Bookishly Ever After. It is the first book in the Ever After series by Isabel Bandera. And I don't know what the whole series is going to be like, but this one sounds really good. She is a typical fangirl. She reads books, she loves books, and she wishes she could have a romance like in the books that she reads, but she knows that can't happen because books aren't real. But then Evelyn meets Dev, and she ends up having her own fairy tale romance. So I'm pretty excited to read this just because it's something I know I would like to see at one point. You know, I always wanted to have my own Bookishly Ever After, so I'm really excited to read this one. The next two books that I got are Lover Enshrined and Lover Unbound by J.R. Ward. These are part of the Black Dagger Brotherhood series. If you don't read romance, that's okay. I don't really read romance. I read this series, and I read The Angels of the Dark and The Lords of the Underworld by Jenna Showalter. Those are the only 3 romance series that I read. And so these ones are Vicious and Furies stories. They were really good. I've already read them. Like, I devoured these books in like 2 days. And I'm really excited to get the next ones. I'm kind of behind on the Black Dagger Brotherhood series. It was recommended to me by a friend, and so far I absolutely love this series. My last 2 books are the books that I got out of the February Owl Crate, and that is The Time Machine by H.G. Wells. So this is a classic. This is like one of the fathers of sci-fi. So I am very excited to have this book. I have not actually read it, so this will be really interesting to read, to see any kind of similarities that there are between modern day sci-fi and H.G. Wells' The Time Machine. And the last book is the main book that was in the Owl Crate, and that is The Love That Split the World by Emily Henry. I've heard really good things about this book, so I'm really excited to read it. It is a big romance book, but obviously there's got to be some sci-fi in it because the February Owl Crate theme was sci-fi. So I don't actually know what this book is about, but the cover is really pretty, so I'm excited to read it, and I've heard really good things, so I'll probably end up reading this one soon. And that is it for my book haul. All that I have left to talk to you guys about is my anticipated book releases for March. I have not heard about many books that I'm excited for in March, so if you do know of any, please let me know, because the only book that I'm so just incredibly excited for March is Lady Midnight by Cassandra Clare. I cannot wait for this book. I am so excited for so many different reasons. Like, I can't wait to learn more about the Fae. We haven't seen much about fairies in the Mortal Instruments and the Infernal Devices. We've learned a lot about vampires and warlocks and werewolves, and only a little bit about the Fae. So I'm really excited to read this one just to get more information on the Fae and delve into that area of Downworlders for a little bit. That's really exciting. Emma and Jules seem like they're going to be a really good couple. Hopefully they'll be a couple, because they're pair of bodies, so it's going to be a little interesting to see how they get around that with their romance, if there is a romance. And then I'm also excited to see more of Jem and Tessa. Jem was my absolute favorite character in the Infernal Devices. He's probably my favorite character overall in both of Cassie's series. So that he got the chance to be with Tessa, I'm going a little insane over here. Like, I can't wait for this series. I'm really excited, and then I am really excited to read it and just have it. I'm hoping I pre-ordered early enough so that I could get the first edition with all the cool little extras that Cassie has put in. But that's it for this video. If you have any questions or any requests, please just let me know down in the comments, and